The cameras flashed. The crowd froze. And that Hollywood had a whole new obsession.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, picture this. A shaky, like 32-second video clip pops up on your feed.
Yeah.
You click on it, and the camera pans, and suddenly you aren't looking at a screen anymore.
Right, you're transported.
Yeah, you are standing inside a literal fortress. There's this emerald drapery cascading down from an impossibly high ceiling, and towering leafy trees are stretching up into the rafters like some forgotten forest.
It's just wild imagery.
It really is. And the room is just a sea of recognizable faces. We're talking A-listers, superstar athletes, pop royalty, and they're all buzzing with this electric, hushed anticipation.
Yeah.
And pulsing underneath all of it, you hear the bass line of Candace Dayton's disco anthem, Young Hearts Run Free.
Yeah, that 32-second clip basically broke the internet.
It shattered it. So welcome to today's deep dive. Today we're taking you inside the July 3, 2026 wedding of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
The event of the decade, honestly. Seriously.
Yeah.
And when I say we are taking you inside, I mean we are tearing through a massive stack of sources to figure out how the most famous couple on the planet actually pulled this off.
Right, because the secrecy was, well, it was on the level of nuclear codes.
Exactly. So we're looking at the leaked footage that got analyzed by the Daily Mail, insider reports from TMZ, comprehensive logistical breakdowns from CBS and Forbes.
And we've got detailed timelines from Wikipedia, plus some really sharp fashion commentary.
Yeah, from pop culture historians. Our mission today is to cut entirely through the noise. We want to separate the verified facts from the wildest. We want to explore the central paradox here. Like, how in the world do you take a 1,000-guest arena wedding and somehow engineer it to feel like an intimate family gathering?
It's a logistical masterpiece, really. Right. So whether you are a pop culture fanatic who tracks every outfit, or you're just fascinated by the sheer billionaire-level logistics of event planning, you're going to want a front row seat to this.
Oh, for sure.
Let's unpack the venue choice first, because this is the piece that originally just blew my mind.
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
In New York City, I mean, a basketball and hockey arena that holds 20,000 screaming fans.
Yeah, on paper, it sounds completely counterintuitive. Like,
Right.
when you picture a romantic, intimate wedding, the home of the New York Knicks is probably at the absolute bottom of your list.
It's deeply ironic.
Yeah.
Booking a massive, iconic sports stadium because you want, of all things, privacy.
Yeah, it's a statement.
It feels like taking a priceless, rare diamond, and instead of hiding it in a small, discreet wall safe, you lock it inside an industrial bank vault that just happens to be disguised as a public arena.
That analogy perfectly captures the reality of their situation, though.
You think so?
Oh, definitely. Because at their level of fame, privacy doesn't mean, like, a secluded beach or a quiet forest chapel.
Right, because a secluded beach can be photographed by a telephoto lens from a mile away.
Exactly. Privacy at this level requires industrial-scale logistics. And the sources explain exactly why Madison Square Garden was the logistical holy grail here.
Okay, lay it on me.
First and foremost, it's a completely enclosed indoor arena with 0 windows.
Oh.
Yeah, so that means absolutely no sightlines from the street. And it essentially creates a physical dome that paparazzi drones cannot penetrate.
Wow. So it's basically an anti-drone fortress in the middle of Manhattan.
Literally.
Well, wait, what about the people actually walking into the building? Like, if you've ever been to MSG, you know the entrances are right there on the street.
Right, but they bypass the street completely. They utilize the arena's underground VIP access points.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, think about the logistics of that. You have guests arriving in a coordinated fleet of blacked-out SUVs, driving directly into the subterranean bowels of the arena.
So they just step out completely unseen by the public.
Exactly. And once inside, the security protocol basically mirrored a high-level state visit.
I can only imagine.
I mean, every single vendor, staff member, and guest had to sign ironclad non-disclosure agreements.
See, I'm trying to imagine asking Tom Hanks or Simone Biles to hand over their phones at the door. How do you even enforce a no-phone policy for 1,000 billionaires and A-listers?
You enforce it through culture and strict physical confiscation?
They actually took the phones.
Yeah, the sources indicate there was a hard no phone, no video policy that applied to everyone equally. No exceptions. They created a hermetically sealed social bubble.
That is wild.
Yeah.
And once you stepped inside that bubble, The visual transformation was staggering.
Totally unrecognizable.
Yeah, according to that leaked TikTok footage, you would never know you were standing where a hockey rink usually sits.
Right.
They took all those iconic blue stadium seats and completely erased them. Like, they hid them under these sheer nude-colored coverings.
They effectively deleted the architecture of the arena. Yeah, just so they could build their own bespoke world from the floor up.
And they turned it into what the sources call an enchanted garden.
Mm-hmm.
The footage showed this soaring, chapel-like structure they constructed right on the arena floor.
It was massive.
Huge. But instead of a traditional altar, they had these massive, imposing gray archways.
And the transitions between spaces, they sound like something out of a fantasy novel.
Oh, the magic doors. Yeah, the Daily Mail reported that guests actually walk through hidden magic doors behind those archways just to transition from the ceremony space into the reception.
It was a total sensory immersion. They didn't leave a single inch of the venue uncurated.
No detail left behind.
Right. The sources noted that even the sterile concrete hallways of the arena were completely transformed. They added pink walls, peach-colored carpet, and heavy drapery.
And lining those hallways were these large, gold-framed photos tracing their entire relationship.
Yeah, including photos of their backyard proposal from August of 2025.
Which the public had never seen.
They never.
And everywhere you looked, stamped into the napkins, the carpets, the walls, there was this custom T&T monogram.
They essentially built a temporary 5-star luxury hotel inside the garden.
Which is just an insane flex.
It really is. But because they successfully built this impenetrable fortress, they didn't have to pander to public expectations.
Right. They had the freedom to completely tear up the traditional celebrity wedding playbook.
Exactly. They controlled the perimeter so aggressively that they could be entirely vulnerable and unconventional on the inside.
Starting right at the altar.
Yes, the altar is where things get really fascinating.
Let's talk about the fashion, because it was historic, but it was paired with a ceremony structure that completely stripped away all the usual celebrity fluff.
Yeah, the contrast was amazing.
Both Swift and Kelce were custom Christian Dior Haute Couture.
Designed by Jonathan Anderson.
Right.
And the fashion commentary sources specifically point out the gravity of this. Like, this was Anderson's first couture wedding dress for a world-renowned celebrity.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's a huge deal in the fashion world. And she paired the Dior with vintage Cartier jewelry.
Stunning.
Plus, both the bride and groom wore custom Christian Louboutin shoes.
So the aesthetics are peak historical high fashion. But the actual execution of the ceremony was so stripped down.
Very grounded.
Yeah. Taylor actually walked down the aisle to a stripped-back acoustic version of one of her own songs.
Which is so her.
It is. And for a wedding of 1,000 people, you might expect a massive entourage standing up there, like 20 bridesmaids, 20 groomsmen.
Cool, easily.
But they scrapped all of that.
They reduced it to the absolute essentials.
Yep.
Swift's brother, Austin, served as her man of honor.
Oh.
And Kelce's brother, Jason, was his best man. Plus, Jason and Kylie Kelce's kids were the flower girls.
That's it?
That's it. There was no sprawling bridal party at all.
And the officiant wasn't a traditional religious figure or, like, a glossy celebrity pastor either.
Right. It was actor and comedian Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler, who reportedly sang a humorous but deeply touching original song for them.
I would pay good money to hear that song.
Same. But, you know, I have to admit, there was one detail about the ceremony that genuinely confused me.
Oh, what's that?
The vows.
Oh, yes.
They reportedly read from a golden book, and they exchanged massive 20-minute vows each.
Yep. 40 minutes total of just vows.
I mean, think about the last wedding you went to. If the couple stood up there and talked for 40 straight minutes, you would be checking your watch.
Oh, people would be shifting in their seats, coughing.
Exactly.
Phew.
How do they not completely lose the attention of a 1,000-person crowd?
Well, it sounds like a keynote address, doesn't it? But you have to remember who is holding the microphone.
Oh, wait. It's the acoustic set.
Exactly.
Like when Taylor does that solo acoustic portion in the middle of her massive stadium tours.
Yes.
She can be in front of 80,000 screaming fans, just her and a piano or a guitar, and she somehow makes the energy in a football stadium feel like you are sitting on her living room floor.
She knows exactly how to shrink a massive room.
That's a great way to put it.
It is her unique superpower as a storyteller. She understands pacing and emotional resonance better than almost anyone alive.
So she just applied tour logic to her vows.
Pretty much. By ditching the massive bridal party, having a comedian ground the mood, and focusing so heavily on their personal narrative in those vows, it centered the spectacle purely on their bond.
It removed the performative element of a typical celebrity wedding.
Exactly. That is why guests, like her former music video director, Joseph Kahn, described the event as feeling surprisingly intimate, despite the colossal venue.
Okay, so the ceremony was a masterclass in grounded intimacy. But the reception?
The reception was a different beast.
The reception sounds like a totally different universe. If the ceremony was about family, the reception was where their two very different worlds collided.
The ultimate crossover event.
Yes, you have pop royalty crashing headfirst into football tailgate culture.
The guest list alone illustrates that collision. It was a fascinating cross-section of American culture.
It's surreal to even picture this room. Like, you have Selena Gomez wearing Oscar de la Renta, which the sources note is a lovely nod to Taylor's own history with that designer.
Nice touch.
Yeah. Then you've got Tom Hanks chatting near Simone Biles, Patrick Mahomes, Bradley Cooper, Gigi Hadid.
It's just a wall of fame.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, the sources specifically note the absence of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, which fueled a completely separate news cycle.
Of course it did. But the actual vibe of the room is what's blowing my mind. We mentioned Candy Staton's Young Hearts Run Free playing during the room transitions.
Right.
Then you have live performances by Stevie Nicks, Ciara, Fergie.
And Paul McCartney.
Yes.
We need to pause on McCartney, because he didn't just play a random hit.
Wait, what did he play?
He played I Want to Hold Your Hand, and the sources note it was for the first time since 1964.
Are you serious?
Yep. The historical and cultural weight of that specific musical moment happening at this specific wedding is just staggering.
Staggering musical history.
Yeah.
Happening right upstairs from Mechanical Skee-Ball.
Oh, yeah. The lower level of Madison Square Garden was a complete tonal shift.
I am delightfully baffled by this.
It's amazing.
The reports say the lower level featured a full fairground theme. We are talking miniature golf, mechanical skee-ball machines, a football ring toss.
A literal carnival.
A carnival, all while eating food catered by Zero Bond, offering high-end Italian and premium Japanese sushi.
Naturally.
It sounds like the world's most exclusive, billionaire-budget state fair. How do those two aesthetics even make sense together?
Well, they make sense because it's a brilliant physical manifestation of their combined personal brands.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, they didn't try to force one to assimilate into the other.
Right.
The Christian Dior Haute Couture, the Paul McCartney performance, the Zero Bond catering, that all represents Taylor's meticulously crafted musical legacy and elite New York lifestyle.
The high art.
Exactly. But the carnival games, the skee-ball, the football toss, that brings in Travis's playful, competitive Midwestern sports background.
They just embraced both.
They simply housed both identities under one roof, letting guests move freely between high art and tailgate games.
Okay, but let's talk about the prizes at those games.
Oh, the prizes.
Because it ties directly into how they handled the public outside the arena. So inside, guests are playing these carnival games and winning raffle tickets.
Like you do at a fair.
Right, but the prices. Vintage Cartier watches, Chanel and Dior bags, and literally a restored 1970 Chevy Chevelle SS convertible.
With a custom license plate.
Yes, reading JST and TMRD. Like, just married. How does that even work? Do you sink a putt in mini golf and someone just hands you the keys to a classic car?
It's a staggering level of wealth display, but playfully disguised as a carnival prize.
It really is.
And that specific car is a nod to the vehicle they were famously seen driving early in their relationship in Kansas City.
That's a deep cut. And on top of the car, every single guest left with an embroidered handkerchief featuring the lyric from Blank Space. So it's going to be forever.
A perfect favor.
All right, so the inside is lavish, but outside the arena, they were putting on an entirely different show for the rest of the world.
Because you cannot have the two most famous people on Earth get married in the center of Manhattan and give the public absolutely nothing.
The pressure would be too immense.
It was boil over.
And they gave the public a massive spectacle. Madison Square Garden's exterior billboards flashed JUST&T married.
Clever.
The Empire State Building lit up in something blue. Union Station in Kansas City lit up to match.
Citywide coordination.
But the part that really caught my eye was the philanthropy. The reports show they donated exactly $26 million to over 20 charities, including food banks, animal rescues, and the Dollywood Foundation.
A substantial and highly specific number.
Okay, knowing Taylor Swift's long, documented history with numerology, leaving clues and embedding Easter eggs in literally everything she does, I simply cannot accept that 26 million is a random figure.
Oh, absolutely not.
It has to be a massive multi-million-dollar puzzle piece.
You are definitely not alone in that deduction.
Right.
The sources actually cite an entertainment insider named Guns, who validated exactly that theory.
I knew it.
Yeah, suggesting the number 26 has a highly specific symbolic meaning that fan communities are still actively trying to decode.
They'll figure it out eventually.
Oh, they always do. But if we pull back and look at the broader strategy here, the light shows and the donations serve a very specific functional purpose.
So you're saying it's essentially a PR decoy,
Precisely.
a shiny object to distract the media.
By giving the public the flashing billboards, the lit-up landmarks across 2 cities, and the massive record-breaking charitable donations, they fed the public's hunger for a royal wedding spectacle.
They gave them content.
They gave the news anchors and the paparazzi tangible things to report on and photograph on the outside.
Which relieved the pressure.
Exactly. That relieved the immense external pressure, creating a protective buffer that allowed the actual wedding on the inside to remain completely private.
Wow. They controlled the narrative by intentionally manufacturing a secondary public narrative.
It's masterful misdirection.
It really is. And it felt like the universe itself was participating in the PR.
The weather, you mean?
Yeah. The sources report that literally minutes after they exchanged those 40-minute vows, a sudden, intense rainstorm hit New York City, complete with massive lightning and a full rainbow.
You can't script that.
Fans immediately connected it to the lyrics of Swift's 2026 song, Opalite. Like, you obviously can't plan the weather, but it certainly added to the mythology of the day.
The mythology was practically writing itself.
For sure.
But, as with any cultural monolith in the modern era, you cannot have an event of this magnitude without the internet injecting its own brand of chaos, rumors, and friction into the mix.
Well, the internet definitely arrived.
It always does.
Because of that strict no-phone policy we talked about, there was a total vacuum of visual information for the public.
And the internet abhors a vacuum.
It really does.
Yeah.
Almost immediately, highly realistic, fake AI-generated images of the wedding began flooding social media.
People trying to guess what the inside of the arena looked like.
Right. Which prompted Joseph Kahn, the music video director who actually attended, to call out those fake images online.
What did he say?
He posted that the real event was like, quote, living in the internet, and AI would crack if it tried to render it.
Wow.
Which is such a visceral, incredible way to describe the scale and surrealness of that room.
It paints quite a picture.
But the rumors weren't just about the visuals. There was also reported drama leading up to the ceremony.
Yeah, the rehearsal dinner the night before generated its own controversy.
It did.
Which really highlights the inherent friction of blending these two very distinct social circles.
The sources report that writer and actress Lena Dunham gave a speech at the rehearsal dinner.
Okay.
And she claimed, quote, American football is just straight guys reenacting gay porn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. According to the reports, this comment deeply offended a significant portion of the room.
Well, when you have the vanguard of Hollywood and the literary world rubbing shoulders with the culture of the NFL in one room, friction is almost inevitable.
That's a really fair point.
They are very different worlds operating on different social frequencies.
And the friction didn't just stay inside the venue with the guests. The outside world tried to crash the wedding digitally.
Oh, the political trolling.
Yeah, the sources note that the Trump administration's White House social media accounts posted a fake, edited image of the Madison Square Garden billboards.
Bizarre.
Instead of JST and T married, the fake billboard read, Trump is your president.
Yeah.
And they appropriated Swift's era's tour imagery to depict a Trumpist version of history.
Looking at this purely analytically, though, the fact that the highest levels of the federal government felt compelled to spoof this wedding's imagery, well, it's the ultimate proof of its inescapable cultural dominance.
It's because it was just everywhere.
Right. The event was so massive, so all-consuming in the public consciousness, that political figures attempted to hijack its momentum just to get their own messaging seen.
It's a surreal thing to witness.
Truly.
But of all the noise and rumors floating around, there is one theory that seems to hold the most weight.
It's a big one.
It's about what we, the public, might actually get to see in the future. Entertainment insiders are claiming that Taylor's production team professionally filmed the entire event from start to finish.
The prevailing rumor is that the footage is currently being edited for a potential premium streaming special.
Or that it will be utilized as the visual lead-up to her next major album release.
Which makes perfect sense.
It really does.
Uh.
She did the exact same thing with the Eras Tour movie.
Yeah.
She skipped the traditional Hollywood studios entirely and went straight to the theaters, distributing it herself.
If the filming rumor is true, and historical precedent suggests it very well might be, it perfectly aligns with Swift's career-long business strategy.
Right. Why give it away?
Exactly. Why would you sell the exclusive photo rights to a glossy magazine for a flat fee when you can produce a documentary-level streaming event?
You don't.
You control every single frame of the edit, you dictate the narrative, and you release it directly to your fans as a companion piece to your art.
It is the ultimate monetization and protection of personal narratives.
Spot on.
So, what does this all mean when we step back? When you look at the towering trees built inside a basketball arena, the 40 minutes of acoustic vows.
Mechanical skee-ball humming next to Paul McCartney.
Exactly. And the multi-million-dollar charity drops functioning as PR misdirection. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce managed to pull off the seemingly impossible.
They really did.
They merged a global, stadium-sized cultural spectacle with an intimate, deeply personal family moment.
They essentially built an impenetrable fortress so they could plant a garden inside it.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
They controlled the perimeter so tightly that they had the luxury of being entirely vulnerable where it mattered.
It leaves you with a really provocative thought about the future of celebrity culture, though.
What's that?
Well, if the biggest pop star on the planet and the biggest athlete in the country can successfully lock down a 1,000-person arena in the absolute center of Manhattan without a single unauthorized photo leaking,
Yeah.
are the days of the paparazzi wedding crasher over?
It makes you wonder.
Will the future of these massive celebrity milestones be entirely hyper-curated, self-produced, and eventually streamed directly to our living rooms on their schedule, rather than splashed across a tabloid?
It certainly sets a new, incredibly expensive and highly secure standard for how global fame operates behind closed doors.
It really does. The playbook has officially been rewritten.
Absolutely.
Well, next time you see a shaky 32-second clip pop up on your feed, just remember the sheer magnitude of the machinery, the NDAs, and the logistics working silently just off camera to keep the rest of it hidden.
A whole hidden world.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the sources. We will catch you on the next one.